So in this video, we're going to talk about why I am so happy we didn't get Myles Garrett. I'm going to share that with you in this video because when you guys hear my reason why, you're going to agree with me. I think you're going to agree with me. If you're an Eagles fan that goes back some years, and I'll get into that, we're going to talk about why we should not, why I'm just happy we didn't get Myles Garrett. Then we're going to talk about, and I got some notes here. Then we're going to talk about Big Play Slay getting released by the Eagles. Um, and we're going to get into him appearing on the podcast and laying out his top quarterbacks. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about Dallas Goddard. Rumblings have been going around in Philly. They're talking about, Dallas Goddard is on the chopping block. So anyway, let's get into it. All right. So the first thing is Myles Garrett. And I am so incredibly happy that we did not get Myles Garrett. The reason why is because if you guys remember back in the day when I think Vince Young was the quarterback at one time, and it might have even been before this. But then we had a big free agent signing, and that was the freak from the Tennessee Titans, Jalen Hurts. I don't know if you guys remember this, right? And Jalen Hurts, the freak, I'm telling you, this guy was a beast. Tennessee, he was coming. That was a specimen, all right? That was a dude who was just coming off the corners, just wild, right? And I see Myles Garrett as that same kind of player. And this is the reason why I did not want to get Myles Garrett. Reason why is because if you think about it, Jalen Hurts was around 28 years old when, he got that big contract from the Eagles. They were saying the Eagles is this super team. They got the defense. They got all these players on the squad that were going to really just make a difference. We're going to be this dream team. They were talking about that. A lot of people were afraid, if the Eagles get Myles Garrett, then, they're going to be this and that and that. No, I want the young boys on this team to eat. I want Nolan Smith to eat. All right. Then, you got our D-line. We got a young D-line. Okay? Nakobe Dean is going to be coming back. We got some solid players on the defense. Linebackers, we just re-signed Zach Bond. So the reason why I'm talking about this and why I didn't want Myles Garrett is because you know what happens when these guys get these contracts. What happens is, an injury. All right? The last 2 years, Myles Garrett, yeah, he's been at the top of his game and he's had 14 sacks, right? So he's going all out and he's proven, yeah, I'm so glad the Browns gave him a max contract and he's going to be a Cleveland Brown forever. Stay there, buddy. Don't come to the Eagles, because what was going to happen was he was going to come to the Eagles and he was going to get injured. He's going to blow out a knee. Same thing like the freak, the freak came to the Eagles. He had, don't get me wrong, he was okay, but he wasn't worth the money. He wasn't worth it. So, this it's the same thing all over again. History repeats itself, and I'm so glad we did not get Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett would not have been the answer. Yeah, I'm not saying he wouldn't have got sacks and the D-line wouldn't have been stout and whatever, but there are lesser options out there. Let's think about this. What about Joey Bosa that just got laid off? That just got cut. I know he's injury prone, but if we get some guys, our young guys on the D-line that's coming off the edge and we creating some pressure, we know Sweat might leave, but that also may be a chess piece that how he was playing, playing up the Myles Garrett thing so that Sweat could kind of be like, you know what? I don't want anybody to take my spot. I'm going to stay in Philly. You got to think about the dynamics of it all. Think about how he thinks, right? This is all speculation. But that's the reason why I didn't want to get Myles Garrett. Because you know what? Watch his production over the next few years. I want you to watch his production next year and watch his production the year after that. And then tell me, let's revisit this conversation and see if you wanted Myles Garrett. Okay, so that's why I didn't want Myles Garrett. I really didn't want him. All right. So let's move on to Big Play Slay. So Big Play Slay loves to go on podcasts. He has his own podcast. Big Play Slay is one of those guys. He look, I love Big Play Slay, right? Because he backs up his name, especially this year. I think this year was a better year for Big Play Slay than last year. Obviously, our defense was trash last year, right? We got gashed. But this year, in winning the Super Bowl and everything like that. Hey, baby, I was in the middle of it. Are you good? You're good. What's going on? Huh? You're not in the video, but I'm recording. I could send you the recording of you being on it right now. You sure? Are you good? I'll call you. I'll call you when I'm done. I'll probably be like 10 minutes. All right, bye. Big Play Slay. Don't get me wrong. He made some plays. He did what he was supposed to do. But he goes on the podcast. He was just on a recent podcast, and he was talking about top quarterbacks. And don't get me wrong. I think and I'm coming to his defense. I'm coming to Big Play Slay's defense. Because I think how he was looking at it was, he was saying, besides Jalen. I mean, he didn't say it, right? But I think in his mind, he was like, besides Jalen, here are the top tier quarterbacks, right? And not saying it, when you want a podcast, you're talking to guys and da-da-da-da-da, and you going and you talking, right? I think, he named Josh Allen. He named, this was his top QBs. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and I don't know who the next. Oh, and Joe Burrow. Look. These guys are great players. They're great NFL quarterbacks, right? They're great NFL quarterbacks. But the thing that I think puts Jalen apart, sets Jalen apart from these quarterbacks is his determination, his grit. One other person, I think all of these guys have that. Don't get me wrong. All of these guys have that. But Jalen is he's so under the radar in what he does. His upside is greater. His upside is just greater, right? These guys are here, but his upside puts him here. His upside is just so much greater. He's one of those players, reminds me of, of players coming out of high school and that they aren't highly recruited. They aren't highly picked. And then you got the top tier guys that are, everybody's talking about them. And then there's somebody that rises from the ashes and that always shocks everybody and always is that player. That's who Jalen Hurts is. Okay? So Big Play Slay. I'm coming to your defense, bro. I'm coming to your defense because I know as a fact that you didn't mean not to put Jalen in there, right? You didn't mean not to put Jalen in there because Jalen belongs in there, right? In that top 5. Jalen belongs in there. And you could go ask Tom Brady. Go ask Tom Brady. Off the record, go ask Tom Brady if he thinks Jalen is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Okay? Ask him. Right? That's who I want you to ask. Don't ask me. Go ask Tom Brady. That's who I want you to ask. But anyway, Big Play Slate, I'm coming to your defense, bro. And I'm gonna let you know that I know you didn't mean to leave Jalen out. So just wanted to clear that up with everybody. And if you want to come on the podcast and talk about it, I'm cool with that too. We could talk about it. And just chop it up on what you actually meant. But I know what you meant. So don't worry about a Big Play Slate. Look, I know you got decisions to make. I know you want a podcast with your boys, over there in Detroit. And, it's 2 places where you want to go. You want to either stay here in Philly or you want to stay in Philly or you want to go to Detroit. And I'll let you know, man. It would be difficult to see you walk and see you go to Detroit and play over there for your last season. I think it would be great to play back in Philly again and try to run it back. That's the purpose of it all. Let's try to run it back, man. That's a great thing. So hopefully you run it back. Another thing that I wanted to touch on real quick was with CJGJ, man. CJGJ. Don't listen to a lot of these fans out here, man. A lot of people out here chirping and talking, man. See, this is the reason why a lot of teams don't repeat. Because you got a lot of people talking. When it's the offseason, you got a lot of people talking. Hey, keep the continuity in the locker room. Keep that continuity going. Because what's going to happen is it's hard for teams to repeat. And the reason why teams repeat is because they continue to work together. There's no egos. There's none of that, man. Everybody is in here working together. So CJGJ, man, you are an important part of the Eagles defense. Very, very critically important part of the Eagles defense, man. And don't worry, you're going to get yours. You got yours. All right? So chill. Don't listen to fans. Don't let the fans tweet at you and give you all these types of scenarios and stuff like that, man. You the player, man. We fans. It's just the fans. Don't listen to the fans. Players, don't listen to the fans. Don't get riled up because some fans say something out there. You the one making millions, not them. All right, now the last thing I wanted to talk about was Dallas Goddard. So there's been rumors going around that Dallas Goddard may get traded. And that's kind of tough. You know, he's on the trading block. I mean, not officially, right? Not officially on the trading block. But it would be good to keep Dallas Goddard. You have Grant Calcaterra that's there, you know, young player. You know, he can grow some more. There's some tight ends in the draft that you can work with, but there's no replacing Dallas Goddard right now. He's still in his prime, and I know that might be a reason why Howie may want to move him, because he is still in his prime and you could get something for him. But man, you know, making these decisions, it's tough to be a GM. And Howie, we trust, man. We trust you, Howie. However, you know, letting Dallas Goddard go would be a tough thing to see because, man, you know, Dallas is one of those players that, man, I remember, you know, if you're a longtime Eagles fan, you remember Brent Selleck, right? You remember Brent Selleck. Then, you know, you came and you got Zach Ertz, right? And then Dallas Goddard. I know there's going to be somebody next that's in the wings, that's waiting. We've always had great tight ends, and that's been great for us. Dallas Goddard is a beast, man. That guy is an all-pro tight end, one of the best to play for the Eagles. I mean, we've always had solid tight ends. So, you know, it would be sad to see Dallas go, but I know Howie always has a plan. Always has a plan. So, you know, we're going to wait and see what happens. Free agency is going to start May 12th. That's going to be big for the Eagles. We still have Milt Williams out there, you know, that may get moved. We got Mekhi Becton that is there. I think he's going to stay. We already locked up our boy Zach Bond, which is great. So, you know, and then we got Sweat, you know, Sweaty J. I know you're going to get a payday, man. You're going to get a big payday, but it's nothing like being with the Eagles and winning the Super Bowl. There's nothing like it, all right? There's nothing like trying to go two-peat, when running it back and getting a two-peat. Get the money close. If the money is close, stay, bro. Milt, hey, look, much respect to you. Salute, man. You're one of those players that flew under the radar, but you were critical, man, coming around there, strip sacking Patrick Mahomes the same way BG did it in the first Super Bowl, recovering the fumble. It was phenomenal, man. Milt, look, I hope you get paid. You a young cat. You young. Try to see if we can run it back, man. Run it back. Let's try to go for 2 straight. All right. It's never easy. Continuity is what helps that. And if you win 2 straight, man, then, you know, bounce. Go sign a 1-year contract. Come on back. All right. So, hey, guys, just wanted to share a couple things with you guys. Hope to see you on the next one. Fly, Eagles, fly.